Have you ever been on a date where she's more interested in her phone than you, or found yourself feeling like the most boring person in a group? I've been there, and here's a key insight. Even if you're ticking all the right boxes, you're being polite, showing interest, following the rules, sometimes it's not enough. Women have a sharp intuition. They pick up on things like insecurity or lack of genuine excitement. It's not just about meeting expectations, it's about creating a memorable, enjoyable experience. So why does this matter? Because generating positive emotions and making sure that the conversation is fun is what truly makes you attractive. If you can make a date enjoyable and exciting, you'll stand out and leave a lasting impression. Stick around to learn the key mistakes to avoid and the strategies to make your interactions more fun and engaging so women not only enjoy your company, but look forward to seeing you again. One of the biggest pitfalls introverts face is the tendency to play it too safe. Many believe that staying reserved and cautious is safer bet than risking coming across as overwhelming, but here's the reality, that's a mistake. The blue zone represents safety through invisibility. You're so reserved that you blend into the background. You're not contributing much to conversations and you're not leaving any impression. Sure, it feels safe, but it's also the place where you're most easily forgotten. When you stay in the blue, you miss out on opportunities to connect, engage, and make an impact. You're not just avoiding being annoying, you're avoiding being memorable. And that's worse than everything. Now, the green zone is where you want to be. This is where you're expressing yourself, taking risks, and contributing in ways that's both engaging and interesting. You're adding value to the conversation and making a positive impression. In the green, you're memorable for the right reasons. People find you engaging and enjoyable to be around. This is where you strike the perfect balance between taking risks and being authentic. Now let's address the red zone. And yes, this is where you might come across as too much, whether you're dominating the conversation or pushing boundaries. But here's the key. The red zone is not as dangerous as it seems. As long as you're aware of your impact and pay attention to others' reactions, you can adjust and recalibrate. The red zone offers valuable feedback. If you notice people pulling away or showing signs of discomfort, you can course correct. It's a dynamic space where you can learn and improve, whereas the blue zone simply leaves you stagnant. So don't fall into the trap of thinking the blue zone is safer. It's actually a dead end. The real growth happens when you venture into the green zone, and even when you make mistakes in the red zone, you have the chance to learn and adjust. The goal is to engage actively and authentically, finding that sweet spot where you're both memorable and appreciated. So you've started taking some risks, awesome. But there's another common trap that introverts often fall into: getting stuck in your head. And you know what I'm talking about: overthinking too much, replaying conversation in your head, and then realizing at some point that you've missed the perfect moment to jump in. It's like being on a different frequency. Everyone else is vibing in the moment, and you're stuck on a mental loop trying to craft the perfect response. But by the time you're ready to say something, the moment's gone. Here's the thing. Overthinking kills spontaneity, and in social situations, timing is everything. If you're too busy planning, you're not really present and you miss out on those natural, in-the-moment connections. What you need to do is give up the need for predictive control. Let go of the urge to plan everything and instead be in the moment, be present. Don't plan, just go with the flow. Engage with what's happening around you instead of getting lost in your head. It might feel uncomfortable at first, but the more you practice, the better you'll get at it. When you're truly present, your timing improves, your responses are more natural, and you connect with people on a deeper level. So now that you're staying present in the moment, let's tackle another common mistake: trying too hard to be funny. Humor is a fantastic way to connect with people, but here's the truth. We've all been there, making a joke that doesn't land and suddenly the room feels 10 degrees colder. The issue? When you try too hard to be funny, it comes off as forced and unnatural. And here's the secret: make yourself laugh first. If you find something genuinely funny, chances are others will too. Humor should be an extension of your personality, not a performance. When you focus on what genuinely amuses you, you're more relaxed and in the moment. Your humor becomes authentic, and authenticity is way more attractive than a perfectly timed punchline. See those are real conversations where I just had fun with it and it clicked. Not forcing it, just being myself. So, the takeaway? Don't try to be funny. Just be yourself and let the humor flow naturally. You'll be surprised at how much better that works. So we covered what not to do. Let's talk about what should be doing. And the first step is to create more opportunities to talk to strangers. You need to engage conversations with new people as often as possible. Social skills are like any other skill. They get better with practice. So the more you put yourself out there, the more comfortable you will become, and the quicker you will develop that natural flow of conversation. Don't worry if it feels awkward at first. That's normal. The key is to keep practicing. Check some of my other videos for that. They're packed with strategies to help you get started. Now, if you really feel lost, you can get some help with little gimmicks. These are simple rule of thumb that help you steer conversations, avoid pitfalls, and keep things interesting. And here's 2 examples that have worked wonders for me. The first one is assume lies. That doesn't mean that you should be distrustful, but rather that you take everything with a grain of salt, just to keep the conversation playful. It can add an element of mystery and fun. So, for example, if your best friend is late at the restaurant and is blaming the traffic, you can tell him, for example, well, was it the traffic or were you just stuck on the bathroom or stuck on the pot, if you're more familiar with him. Another example you can use during a first date is if a woman tells you that she loves listening to Taylor Swift or Drake, like a very mainstream artist, then you can tell her, come on, be honest with me. You can tell me which you really like. You don't have to be that mainstream. The second gimmick is what else is true. So for example, if she tells you that she's working as a dentist, then you can assume anything about this. For example, have you already looked at my teeth right now? Or instead of asking a question, you can say it in a way that is more of an observation, like, oh yeah, I noticed you were looking at my teeth a lot. Now I feel self-conscious about it. In a professional context, for example, you know that your boss has been working a lot the past week, so you probably assume that his wife is probably not happy with him coming late every day. Then when you're at a meeting with him, you can tell him something like, let's make this meeting short because I bet your wife is really eager to see you tonight. Now you can twist those, you can change them, you just understand the principles here. What else is true based on information that you're getting here? So by having these principles in your back pocket, you always have something to fall back on, keeping your conversation dynamic and engaging. Now it's crucial to understand that not everyone you meet is going to vibe with you. And that's okay. What you need to focus on is identifying the type of people you want to attract. Your tribe, let's say. These are the people that resonate with your values, your humor, your personality. And when you're clear about who you want to attract, you can then tailor your approach to connect with those who genuinely get you. And this not only makes social interactions more fulfilling, but also helps you build deeper, more meaningful relationships. Think of social interactions like a playground. In any social setting, there's a few things to avoid, and you mark those areas with a do not enter. But everything else, that's fair game. Depending on the context and the people you're with, meaning your tribe, you can explore, experiment, and have fun with those boundaries. I won't get into specifics here because it really depends on the context, but just remember, within the right environment, almost everything is permitted. So don't be afraid to play around and find what works for you. For example, if I go on a date, what can I not do, really? Like if I know exactly the type of woman that I want to attract, my tribe, I know that she must love my humor. So the only thing I want to avoid is I want to avoid insulting her. I want to be respectful, but I also want to express my humor. I want to express my values and all of those things. So if I have created enough opportunities to talk to a lot of women, so I have enough abundance to go on dates regularly, then I don't mind being myself in those situations because I know that I want to attract somebody that is like me. And so the playground is going to be anything that is outside of insulting or being mean or being weird, literally like screaming the top of my lungs out of nowhere, those kind of things, which is something you will not do in any case. So when you know that those are the things you should really avoid, because those might scare even your tribe, then you're not afraid anymore to do all the other things that come to your mind, like singing or whistling or commenting on something you see or whatever it is, because it is inside the playground. Finally, one of the most important steps is to practice with proper feedback. Without feedback, you're flying blind. You might think that you're improving, but without an outside perspective, it's hard to know for sure. That's why it's crucial to get feedback from someone you trust, whether it's a friend, mentor, or even through recording and reviewing your own interactions. This feedback is what will help you fine-tune your approach, identify blind spots, and make the necessary adjustments to really excel in social situations. Remember, feedback isn't criticism. It's a tool for growth. Now that you get the tools, let's talk about all the ways this is going to improve your life. And trust me, the benefits are huge. First up, let's talk about dating. When you are present, taking risks, and bringing your authentic self into conversations, the difference is night and day. Suddenly, you're not just another guy she met, you're someone who stands out, someone who's interesting and fun to be around. You'll notice more matches, better conversations, and more dates that actually go somewhere. And the best part, you're not playing a role, you're just being you, but a more confident and engaging version. Socially, the benefits are just as powerful. Whether you're at a party, a meetup, or just hanging out with your friends, being able to engage, connect, and contribute to conversations makes you someone people want to be around. You'll go from feeling like an outsider to being the person people seek out. It's not about being the loudest or the funniest. It's about being confident, present, and genuine in your interactions. And that's what draws people to you. And let's not forget the professional benefits. When you can communicate effectively, connect with colleagues, and present your ideas confidently, it doesn't just boost your social life, it boosts your career. So whether it's dating, friendships, or your career, the benefits of mastering these social skills are huge. But remember, it all starts with practice. You've got the tools, now it's time to put them into action. And if you're serious about transforming your social life, check out my other videos where I dive deeper into each of these strategies. Social skills aren't just for extroverts, they're for anyone willing to learn and grow. So let's make that happen. Thanks for watching this video, and I see you in the next one.